So here we are in what I am told is the master suite upstairs in the finished townhome. Now, interestingly enough, this actually looks smaller without furniture in it.
Yes.
Than when it did have furniture in it.
Yes.
Is that typical?
No.
Okay.
Usually it would look bigger. In the last series, or the last segment that we did, it was a slightly different design. So I'm wondering if that room might have been a little bit deeper as opposed to width-wise. But having said that, it's still a huge master bedroom.
Very spacious.
Yeah.
So what types of upgrades are we looking at here? This is a nice carpet. Now this is not a... this is a Berber, correct?
Yeah. Berber's very popular, has been for a few years, just for wear and tear, basically.
Durability.
Especially for families, it holds up so much better. It's easy to vacuum, it's fairly easy to clean up in terms of spills and things like that.
Now I understand the type of carpet is certainly one thing you have to think of when you're selecting flooring for the rooms, but also what's underneath the carpets.
Yeah, what's underneath is probably more important.
Yes. For the life of the carpet, correct?
For the life of the carpet, yeah. A lot of people like 40, 50, 60 ounce broadloom or carpet, but really what they should be thinking about is the underpad. And the underpad standard is probably 10 mil, so you'd like to go 12, 16, anything.
Now when you say 10 mil, what is that a measure of?
Just the size of the underpad itself, so just 10 millimeters.
So that actually helps the extend the life of the carpet, correct?
Yeah, and just as an example, I've walked on a 35 ounce carpet, which is nothing special at all, with I believe it was a 20 mil underpad, and it felt like the most luxurious carpet you'd ever want to walk on.
Oh wow!
So, and that carpet probably lasted 10 years, whereas some of the higher end ones with a cheaper underpad lasted 5.
Wow! So a significant difference.
Yeah. So in terms of lifetime in the carpet. And if you talk to any of the local flooring centers, they'll tell you the same thing. So,
so I'm looking at the outlets, again, smaller details, which often make all the difference in a home. I'm looking at the number of outlets in this bedroom. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
There's multiple on some walls here.
Yeah.
Are these types of things that are standard, or do you need to ask for additional outlets?
What would happen is they will be standard to a point.
Okay.
So they'll give you X amount,
And what is that point?
It depends on the builder. No, it'll be probably much better than code. But they might say, okay, in the master we'll give you 4, and then, every additional one is $75 or something like that.
Okay.
So it just depends on what people wanted. So in most rooms, obviously, you'll find one, but many times today, with computers and internet and everybody having a TV in every room, you'll find that there's multiple outlets in every room now. Yeah.
Regardless, though, definitely something you need to ask. How many outlets come standard in each room, and think about your use of the room, I would imagine.
I think you'll find in most master bedrooms there'll be several. What happens after that in the auxiliary bedrooms, that's where you're probably going to start paying your upgrades.
I'm seeing there's a nice light here in the master bedroom. Is that standard?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Is that typical, or again, is lighting something?
Lighting is something that you have to discuss with the builder. A lot of builders will not so much the master bedroom, although you will see no fixture as standard. But
meaning you have to have a separate standalone lamp, which you plug in for your lighting.
That's correct.
Yep.
But mainly where you'll see that is actually in the main floor living room. So here there was pot lights as the upgrade. The standard is no fixture, but certainly an outlet that will be on a switch.
Yep.
For a standalone.
Okay. Now I'm looking directly into this lovely walk-in closet, which almost appears to be another bedroom. So people can go in their bed. How is that a standard feature? I'm looking at the wire shelving in there. Is the wire shelving a standard feature?
In this particular model, that is standard.
Okay.
Yes. In some of the other models, it's not. It's an upgrade, so it just depends on the layout of the home itself. So, for this particular model, that's standard. Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that have walk-in closets, particularly very spacious walk-in closets, often want to do customized shelving.
Sure.
Is this something that some builders offer, or is this something you have to do yourself?
Yeah, no, some builders definitely will offer it. However, my opinion would be, depending on how customized you want to go, you might want to just talk to, again, a company or a store that specializes in shelving and in closets, storage things.
Is it possible to have this work done prior to moving into the home?
Yeah, absolutely. Because,
but that's something you need to talk to the
builder.
you
would confer with the builder on that at a certain stage, very close to finishing. Then, if you were getting customized shelving and storage put throughout the home, then they would come in pretty much when the house is finished, install, and then the finishing touches will be done, and away you go, you move in.
But again, those are things you need to talk to the builder about, and why is that? Why is there a concern about work you do on your own and work that the builder does prior to?
Mainly just for, one would be safety, because if the house isn't at a certain stage and you're not working for the builder, and you go in there, you could be, injured. But I think a much bigger and more practical reason would be, for instance, if we use closets, and I'm not a closet installer, but if you were put in custom shelving and the carpet guy hasn't been here yet, right, and you infringe on the space that he needs, or the trim person, then you've got a problem. You can always adjust things like shelving to meet the carpet and trim allowances after they've been done. So maybe you have to shorten the shelving a little bit or something like that. But to do that, put the shelving in first, would just be a nightmare.
And it impacts your warranty.
Yeah, it could
as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. What about things like, I'm looking at this lovely window here.
Yeah.
That little edge.
Yeah. It's actually a standard feature for this model. It can't be applied to other models, so it's standard, but because this model is more expensive, it's basically an upgrade, a standard feature that you are paying for, because it does add, this bump out here probably adds...
Is that what it's called now, a bump out?
That's what I call it.
Okay.
there's probably a really cool catchphrase for it,
bump out.
But yeah, it probably adds about an extra 60 square feet to the bedroom, as well as, gives you a nice sitting area or a plant area. So, like I said, it's not an upgrade, but this model is more expensive than some of the other models.
I'm looking through the other door off of the master here into, again, what looks like a huge room.
Right.
There's, in fact, a very luxurious ensuite. I'm looking at a very large jacuzzi tub there. It would appear to be a jacuzzi tub. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about tubs and showers.
Sure.
How important is it to have both a tub and a shower separate in an ensuite?
If it's an ensuite, I would say that it's probably fairly important. Although, more and more, especially with our lives these days, most people aren't using their tubs very often. So, the showers are the more important of the two. But having said that, it really is a nice feature to have, even if it's only once a week that you use it. And it also looks great. So, in terms of saleability, again, over and above what you might use the house for, it's something that, prospective buyers down the road would come in and say, oh, that's lovely. And they would, again, would either help the home sell more quickly, or you get more for your home than you normally would. So, it's a great feature. As far as the ensuite itself, to each his own. Most people nowadays are opting for en-suites if the square footage allows. Obviously, putting an ensuite in a 12 or 1,300 square foot home probably isn't the best use of space.
So you're saying an ensuite isn't necessarily a standard feature?
Oh, not at all. As a matter of fact, in this particular model, that particular bath is actually a $4,700 upgrade.
Wow.
There is a less expensive version, and then there's the standard version. So,
wow.
Yeah.
But again, I've often heard that the bathroom and the kitchen are two places that people spend a lot of their time in.
Yeah.
And for resale value, those are the areas, if you're going to put upgrades in, those are the areas that you want to focus on. In this day and age, would you say in your experience as a realtor that that's still true?
Yeah, I would think so. The kitchens, absolutely. I don't know in terms of bathrooms, because of people's busy schedule, how much time they're spending in it, but they certainly love having a nice bathroom. So, yeah, they're both very important features.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.